Greetings, everyone. Stephen Dynako here for Social Chrysalis, and it is my pleasure to have Sharon Moloney with me to talk briefly about her program, Activate Your Female Power. And we have some special things we want to discuss in this interview. Sharon, welcome. Good to see you.
Thank you, Stephen. It's a pleasure to be here.
And I'll say, as the Sharon's co-producer of this, and just going through the content and putting it together, that it is just a profound, powerful, and beautiful exploration of what it is to be female and how it is connected not only to a woman's body and to her relationship with her beloved, but also to the earth. The female body, as well as the male body, but in this context, the female body is really, it's part of the Earth's ecosystem. And how we treat one really connects to how we treat the whole.
Absolutely. So from my perspective, this is what I've come to understand through doing my study and research into the spirituality of the female body, that because we have this privilege of being able to conceive and grow and then birth babies from our bodies, even if we never choose to do that, we have this ability to grow life, which is the microcosm of the earth body. The earth body spontaneously produces life and grows life, and we have a very unique and intimate participation in that capacity to grow and create life through these amazing bodies that we are gifted with. And it's actually what we do on behalf of the species. It's this huge work that's unrecognized and that goes on all the time in the background that we just assume as normal, and it is in some ways very normal, but it's also profound. It's a sacred duty that we do on behalf of the species. And how we treat our bodies as the microcosm of the earth body really matters, because what we see in our world at the moment is the earth body having been treated for centuries as a thing, an inanimate object that we could contaminate the atmosphere, that we can throw plastic and, it contaminates our waterways and our oceans and the earth. And now we're starting to realize, because the science is starting to show us, that the earth is a living, breathing being. She's a being, she's not a thing. Just as our bodies are beings and not things. And yet we've, by and large, grown up in a culture where we were taught to treat our bodies as things. And so when we start to really appreciate the biology, the deep spirituality, the connection between those two that's located inside our bodies, well, I'll talk about myself, that's instilled in me a really profound respect for my body that I now walk into the world and into every interaction that I have with others. And it's also made me aware of how I am the microcosm of the earth body. And so as I treat my body with respect and other people treat my body and my being with respect, that also translates into treating the earth body with respect, because we're the small part of which she's the greater. And it's abundantly apparent that we so need to change our ways in how we relate to the earth body, because she has a fever, she's losing species at an alarming rate, she's polluted with all kinds of non-biodegradable substances that choke up her waterways and our oceans and the land and so on. We really need to regain our intimate connection with the earth body as our mother and as a being of love and a presence. And one way that we can do that is by connecting with our bodies. And so my program is the step-by-step guide, right from the moment of conception right through to women's experiences of menstruation. It's the step-by-step embodiment of that understanding and that wisdom and that deep love that then translates into connecting with the earth body and treating the earth body with the same love and respect that we treat our own bodies. So what happens in that process is that we wake up to the fact that we're actually ambassadors for the earth and her needs, and we become that fierce mother bear energy that emerges. We become female warriors on this passionate quest to preserve and maintain the beauty and the integrity and the biosphere that is ours, and that we have the responsibility to care for because we're human beings. So it's profound how my program, something divine was coming through me when I created that, and much bigger than me as the local self. And I can't help but feel that it's her message coming through me that is wanting to reach other women so that they also are able to pick that up and run with it.
Yeah. And it's really profound to me, especially like what's happening. I mean, you're in Australia and you've seen, experienced, people who've been affected by just all of the fires. And it seems like it's not just seems, but it is such a immense and very important responsibility to honor the earth body.
Absolutely. And these fires, 6 months from September right through till now, we've had 6 months of fires that have been off the charts in every single state. And the word unprecedented was used over and over again to describe those fires. That is climate change. All the people the experts who understand fire and the hydrology cycle of the planet have recognized that it's climate change that's caused that. And what's more, it's those devastating fires and changing weather events that were projected to be like 10 years' time or 20 years' time, they're here. They're right here now in front of us, much sooner than we anticipated. So we don't have the luxury of time. We have to act now. And I know from my own personal experience of having walked this journey of coming into that relationship of love with my own biology and my own body, that there's this reciprocal relationship that opens up between my body and the earth body, where I get guidance from her about what's mine to do. And I can say my yes to that. And in my program, I talk about that as the evolutionary impulse that's there inside every human being, and is there in a particular kind of a way inside women, because we have this capacity to create life and are invested in preserving and maintaining and sustaining all the life forms that we know and care for. So this is one very personal way that we can respond to the crisis that's right up in our faces now, that has the power to make a difference. And it absolutely does. And imagine if thousands of women around the globe did that. I have this vision of a global network of women who are committed to living the sacredness of their bodies for exactly that reason, because it changes the balance between masculine and feminine energies on the planet, and it changes the morphogenetic field in which we're all bathed, and it changes what happens on the planet because we're co-creators with her. So it's profoundly important and significant.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm reminded of what I think it was David Corton said, that we've been treating the earth like it's a dead rock for sale to the highest bidder. And
Exactly.
it's just as true for the earth as it is for people and women.
Exactly.
And how we've treated people through the ages.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
And really that's based on an old model of Newtonian science, where it's this idea of the huge machine that's just ticking over like clockwork, like a mechanical object. And now that was the limitation of the knowledge in the science. And now we know that the primary reality is energy. Energy is what underpins everything, including our physical bodies and the earth body. And so what we do energetically matters. It carries an imprint and a resonance and a vibration that can invest in restoring balance.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the connection that's really profound to me is like when I go outside like I think about like where I would like to walk barefoot, you know, and it's usually not on pavement. It's like I want to be on the grass, the earth,
The
the
grass.
sand, the dirt, and to feel that connection. And
Exactly.
we've lost that because I mean we've insulated ourselves from the surface.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And there is research now. I remember reading last year, there's research that shows that children who spend so much time with their bare feet on the earth have much better results in school and much better emotional equilibrium than children who are always in shoes and spend their time inside. You know, it's axiomatic for being a balanced human being to connect with the earth.
And Sharon's program on Social Chrysalis is Activate Your Female Power. Just go to courses and you'll find it there. Thanks,
Thank
Sharon,
you,
so much.
Steve. Thank you. Been a pleasure.